у нас тоже есть два чемпиона. У нас самая сильная страна, самая сильная республика, самые лучшие бойцы.
We were all wondering how Islam would look at 170, if the strength, if the power, if the grappling would translate. As the week went on, I think we all thought, okay, he's really comfortable looking at 170. He's looking really good without his shirt in those photos and in the training footage that we saw. And he said it afterwards, Chuck, in the post-fight interview to Joe Rogan. He's like, man, this is a dream. I feel so much better. And it's a scary thought. That's his first fight at 170. Just think how he's going to look after his second and his third. It's really remarkable what this guy is doing. I'm blown away by the performance because I really think the world of Jack Della, who had not, lost in the UFC and was on an incredible winning streak himself, to do that to him is nothing short of amazing.
See, now, I ain't gonna lie to you guys, I want to see Ilia Poirier versus Islam now. I want to see it even more now. Dude, Ilia versus Islam White House. Make it happen, Dana. Make it happen.
I like the over. I think the under-over is 2.5 rounds. I'm not sure what the lay is, what the money is as far as laying, but I can tell you if that's accurate, 2.5 rounds, I like the over. I'll tell you that.
Huh? Usman's there. Usman can be a problem. Can he? We've seen how he done well against Chimaev as well.
Yeah.
That can be definitely. Yeah, you're probably right. Probably Andy doesn't take any unnecessary risk. Yeah. So he's a smart. I think Usman will be Islam's toughest challenge. Won't take any unnecessary risk. Can stick to a game plan. Who's going to give Islam problems? Get me at 170. Get me at 170.
We'll get you back on the Maccas.
Nah, look. Again, through that for JDM and film for him. Obviously, you don't get much better dudes than Jack. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
I didn't plan on it, but my shuttle just got here and I saw him walk. I wanted to tell Habib and Islam both congratulations, man. What they're doing is incredible. Just won a belt, 15 pounds up. I mean, dominantly. It's just him and his team, the work they're doing and the way they're performing is incredible, man. I got to respect it,
I think when we think about the White House, it's almost like, oh, does it have to be America versus the world themed and stuff like that? For you, would you be happy putting a non-American main event on that card?
Yeah, it's not America versus the world. It's what's the best card we can build.
So could Islam end up on the White House?
We're talking about him possibly, GOAT talk here, depending on what he does in his next couple of fights. So it's a possibility. And I was saying to Habib, I've been in the fight business since I was 20 years old, and all I ever hear is this guy's going to be a world champion. This guy's going to do this. This guy's going to do that. Everybody says the same thing, and almost nobody ever does or makes it. His father said Habib will go in and dominate, and he'll have a run, and when he's done, and then Islam will come in behind him and do the same. And holy shit. It played out exactly the way his father said, which is pretty amazing. I don't know what you asked me, but I hope I answered your question.
No, it's just...
If you didn't watch the fight and you want to know just how dominant it was somewhat reminiscent of the Khamzat Chimaev Dricus du Plessis fight, which we saw back in August. The fight, each round starts standing. Shortly thereafter, there's a takedown, and Jack Della was just never able to get up. He was never able to do much on the ground. towards the end of the fight, he looked defeated, he looked distraught, he looked deflated. His calf was messed up. Not to suggest that Islam didn't hit him with some shots standing, but it just was one-way traffic throughout. He is just so strong, he is so good, he is so dominant, he is so talented, and now he becomes just the 11th fighter in UFC history to win a belt in 2 different weight classes. He is also the man who has just won his 16th fight in a row, and in doing so ties the great Anderson Silva for the longest winning streak in UFC history. So all kinds of history made tonight at Madison Square Garden. He is the pound for pound best in the world. There is no denying that, and is slowly but surely going down as one of the greatest ever, and in my opinion has put his mentor Khabib Nurmagomedov with this victory very much in the rearview mirror. He has surpassed him. If he had not done so already, Islam Makhachev is that guy, and now the welterweights, which we'll be talking about a lot on this here program, have a new problem to figure out, because this is going to be a very tricky puzzle.
I didn't think Islam was going to be able to, I didn't think Islam is small for 170. I've seen him in person. I've trained with him. He's a big fucking dude. And who would Islam fight next at 170? You know what? I think Islam is destined for, he should fight Ilia Topuria at the White House. If he beats Ilia Topuria, he retires. Islam has plenty of money, right? Go out on your shield like Khabib did. A lot of people in MMA don't want to see that, but in mixed martial arts, us athletes, we stay too long at the party. There's no reason for an athlete to continue to come to the head and all that stuff. If I was him, fight Ilia Topuria at the White House, you beat Ilia Topuria, walk away. I'm sure he made another one. That shit probably goes as far as fucking Russia, so there's no point for him to keep on fighting.
Poirier, I don't know if you saw his tweet. He said you're like the most boring fighter in the UFC or something like that. I know you said to ask you about him after the fight at Media Day. Can you give us your full thoughts on a fight with him now?
No injury, nothing. I don't feel any pains. I'm ready. Who is gonna be next? Let's do this, and I will make it easy.
This matchup was previously regarded by Daniel Cormier as Islam Makhachev's most challenging encounter. He cited JDM's stature, powerful wrestling, and skillful boxing as major dangers, and claimed that Jack's growing self-assurance only made him more formidable. Cormier thought JDM was prepared to put Islam to the test and establish himself as one of the top fighters in the sport.
This is the hardest fight of his life.
That's what he said.
Like, hands down. This guy's big. He's a natural welterweight. He can wrestle. He's improved. His boxing is next level boxing. He's good. He's very, very good. There's been some tough fights in Islam's career, but I don't think he's ever fought anyone like this kid. Jack Della Maddalena is the real deal, man. He is, and the more he wins, the more confident he gets, right? So it becomes harder and harder to beat him. And I think that fight that he had last time with Bilal gives him more confidence that he can go out there and fight a guy like Islam. So yeah, it's not about if I have anything positive to say about Jack. There's a lot positive to say about Jack. He's a world champion for a reason, and he's one of the best fighters in the world, hands down.
Islam prior to the match, Makhachev also claimed that people frequently underestimated his striking ability and that he was prepared to disprove them. He clarified that although most people saw him as a wrestler, he had repeatedly demonstrated his ability to stand and trade with anyone. Makhachev claimed that although he was aware that his grappling and wrestling skills were superior to everyone else's, he was ready to strike if those techniques failed.
Tell me what you think your striking looks like versus his.
People recognize me like I'm just a wrestler. No, I can strike with anyone. I show you guys many times I can strike with everybody. But I know I have better than all of the fighters wrestling and grappling, you know. Tomorrow is, if wrestling is not gonna working, we're gonna strike, we're gonna fight, you know. And I'm a best fighter in the world, and I have all skills. And I will show.
Driz Duples, meanwhile, acknowledged that he preferred Jack Della Maddalena over Islam Makhachev, but still struggled to make a decision. He emphasized Islam's size, power, and meticulous preparation for gaining weight, as well as his history of defeating elite opponents. Duplessis admitted that Islam posed a very difficult test, even as he hoped Jack would win the belt.
If you look at his opponents versus Makhachev's opponents, Makhachev, has beaten the who's who. He is where he is, and he was pound for pound for very long. Pound for pound king for a very good reason. People think Jack Della is going to be bigger. I don't think so. I've now lately seen, and that's why they did such a long camp, to pick up that weight correctly. And he looks big, and he looks thick, and he looks strong. I mean, no doubt, he's a hard worker. But this one, I think, with Jack Della, I love his style. I love him. I like his personality. I would love for him to win that bout, but unfortunately, I cannot go against Makhachev in this one. I think he is just so good. I think he's so good, and I don't think he's going to give up anything going up a weight. I think he's going to be great at that weight, to be honest.
Make history.
Absolutely.
Additionally, Dustin Poirier predicted that Islam Makhachev would defeat JDM by decision. Although he recognized that Jack had the strength and time to make a large impact, he believed that Jack's victory, whether via points or submission, would still be a huge upset.
I would think Islam by decision, but if Jack does win, I'm not going to be totally blown away if he lands a shot that hurts Islam or a knee or something. Obviously, if he beats Islam by decision or submits Islam, then I'm going to be blown away. But I got to go with Islam by decision. That's if I was betting on it, that's what I would.
But according to Max Holloway, JDM would defeat Islam Makhachev in the third round. He clarified that Islam will eventually be worn down by JDM's persistent pressure and accurate strikes. Holloway noted that although Islam frequently appeared tireless, he had previously displayed symptoms of exhaustion, and he thought JDM would exploit those instances as the tempo caught up to him.
No, call me crazy, but I'm running with Jack on this one. I think the very first 2 rounds is going to be super competitive, and we're gonna see how the fight is going to play out. I think Jack's takedown defense is going to be huge. He's going to show huge here. I think he's going to defend a bunch of takedowns. I think he's going to get Islam tired. I think the size he's going to put on Islam is going to be a little bit too much. A lot of people keep saying, that Islam doesn't get tired, but in fights you can see it. He just wasn't as tired as the other guy next to him was. But in my mind, I see this way playing out. Jack getting him tired, getting his hand raised, maybe a third round TKO leaning towards Jack. And I think Jack is gonna find Islam's chin, and when people find Islam's chin, Islam when he gets hit sometimes it looks like it gets to him, I'm not saying like he's get hurt, like oh my god he's crazy hurt, but it looks like when he gets pinged, they don't like it too.
Therefore, Israel Adesanya also projected that in the second or third round, JDM will defeat Islam Makhachev. He clarified that he would be compelled to engage in confrontations where JDM was most dangerous if Islam was unable to contain it locally. Adesanya cited previous battles, pointing out that Islam had been put to the test by Dustin Poirier and Alexander Volkanovski. He felt that these instances demonstrated why JDM striking represented a significant threat in a stand-up fight.
Trying to count Islam out, but I just know Jack. I know that when Jack keeps getting up, it's going to be a problem. And Islam's going to be forced to strike. And when he's forced to strike with Jack, he's going to get hurt. Islam, I think, is the best of the Dagestanis. One of the best fighters in history. One of the most efficient. But when it comes to Jack, look, even Dustin's able to get up and stop his submissions. And Dustin's a fucking gun. And also, I've seen live what Volk can do with Islam when they were in Perth.
Dustin has great boxing, but I still think Jack is on the boxing level.
Levels! Hey, he's touching him. So that's why I know he's going to hurt Islam. I do think, Islam, I'm not disrespecting. I think Islam will be able to get him down, but for how long? It's not for long. And also he's going to get stuffed from the beginning, in the middle, till Jack ends it. In this fight, not just because it's Anzac United, I really think that Jack Della Maddalena has the skills to stifle Islam's game and be able to just put it on the feet and knock him out.